Hi everyone, it's Nay, and welcome to my update for my Beauty A to Z project pan. This is a Fantastic Ladies collab. Pretty simple premise, 26 items for each of the letters of the alphabet. I can't think of anything else I need to say right now, so let's just crack on. For A, I've got the Avon Smooth Minerals eyeshadow pencil in the colour Amethyst. I think I used this like once in the last 6 weeks or so, which is about the time since my last update. And it might have moved about a millimetre. And I did sharpen that a little tiny bit. But yeah, I'm not reaching for this at the moment all that much. As a product in this project that I'm really focusing on because it's old and it just needs to go. While this one's old, it's not cream and it's doing just fine, so this one's on the back burner at the moment. For B, I've got this blushette from MAC in the colour Bound for Love. This is old and gross and I'm just desperately trying to get it gone. Currently at 0.7 centimetres or 16 grams, which looks like it's about a 2 gram and 0.2 centimetre difference in the last 6 weeks. So that's pretty reassuring. Yeah, this one, the other one I had of these didn't go all funny on the sides quite the same way this one has. So yeah, I'm going to be very glad to have that one done, and it's getting there. For C, I've got this Colour Trend Cocoa Floaty Eyes in the colour Cocoa Dreams. I've used this a couple of times. I tend to use it over the same product that I'm desperately trying to get rid of, but I don't tend to do that all that often unless I've got some time up my sleeve, and most of the time I just forget to do it. So my goal on that one is to get it down to 30 grams. As it turns out, it apparently put on 2 grams since my last update. It's probably just my scales and the fact that I really haven't used it all that much. I'm sure I will get there eventually. For D, I've got the Dramatically Different Moisturising Lotion sample. I do think I've actually used this a couple of times, but apparently the weight hasn't changed, and I don't know, I don't think it's moved all that much. I should probably actually mark it on here for all the good it'll do me. It's basically at that line. But yeah, that line there that follows on from there. Yeah, not much more to say about that. For E, I've got this Poreless Face Primer from e.l.f. Apparently it's 2 grams lighter than the last time I wore it, but again I have a feeling that's probably just the scales. I don't think I've used this. I can't imagine that I would have used it. I might have used it once, but it's probably unlikely. For F, I've got the sample of the Fort de France highlighter from NARS. My goal on this is to hit pan, and I'm actually getting pretty close. I don't think I'm all that far away. Down in the corner. It's not really picking up all that well. So this, I hit pan on this ages ago. It broke, I repressed it. It's not very well pressed down in the corners. But yeah, I actually got a feeling that it's not all that far away on this one, and it's really hard to pick it up exactly how close I think I am. But yeah, I'm reasonably confident that by the next time I get around to doing an update, this one will have pan, which will be nice again. Just got to remember to use it. Haven't used it too much the last few days. I've used a different one, but that is the one that I'm tending to mostly be reaching for. For G, I've got Let the Good Times Roll from Lush. Started off at 102 grams, was 100 grams 6 weeks ago. It's now down to about 96 grams, so that is good. I totally forgot about this. It's very, very old and very, very dried out. Doesn't appear to have affected it other than changing the texture a tiny bit, because it's gone very dry. So, but I can just sort of rehydrate it in a little container when I go to use it. But that is another one I'll be very glad to have gone. For H, I've got this tinted lip balm from Burt's Bees in the colour Hibiscus. I sort of put this aside and sort of forgot it existed, and then I went to look for it and I went, oh, it was where I thought it was the whole time. So this one broke in its original tube, couldn't get it back down, it ended up in here. This is currently now at 0.8 centimetres where it was 0.9 last time. As I said, I sort of forgot about using that, which was a bit unfortunate. So I have to get back on that shortly. Mostly what I've been using instead is also in this project, so whatever, get there eventually. I've got this NYX Jumbo pencil in the colour Ice Mocha. Looks like the length is about the same, but apparently it's weighing 2 grams lighter. Bearing in mind my scales that I'm using only measure in 2 gram increments because I can't find what the hell I did with my accurate ones. So it just might be a trick of the scales, or it might just be that it's just gotten down low enough, evaporated, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've used this at least once, but probably not much more than that. And my goal is to get it down to the bottom of the NYX, or thereabouts, I think. I've got it marked on the paper, but yeah, nowhere really near that yet. For J, I've got this Lucky Jade shade stick from MAC. My goal is to wear it down the tip so it's flush. I think I've used this once since the last update, but apparently it's managed to go down a millimetre since then. I tend to only count it once it's under, like definitely under, so it must have been pretty close last time and I've just hit it this time, I think. It lives in there. For K, I've got this Dew Kiss lip balm, tinted lip balm from Avon, the colour Sheer Blush. That's what's left in that guy. Used about 0.3 centimetres off the long side, about 0.4 off the shorter side. So yeah, this is mainly what I've been using over the last 6 weeks, because that Burt's Bees one kind of disappeared on me. But yeah, it's looking good to have this one done by the end of the year, probably a fair bit sooner, so that is awesome. Nice to have that done. Okay, Lord of Misrule. This guy is still sitting at 38 grams. I thought I would be using this more as it got colder, but I still seem to be favouring a more citrusy one, which is a bit weird, because during winter I tend to usually reach for these more sort of spicy, come gourmand scents, but apparently not at the moment. Don't know how long it'll take me to get through the 38 grams, or not 38 grams, however much is in there. Might have to do some maths and work that out from the other one. Sort of extrapolating from the other one. Okay. For M, I had this melatonin balm from Kit. It's just a little sample. Yeah, so my goal is to use this up. It's currently at 6 grams, which is 2 grams less than last time. this I only tend to remember when I do these updates, and I tend to only like to use it after I've washed my face properly, which I don't always remember to do. I tend to just go with like micellar water and wipes, and I tend not to use this. It doesn't sort of come into my mind if I don't actually wash my face with cleanser and water. For N, I had this perfume Nina by Nina Ricci, and I actually finished this. Pretty much finished it today. I've sort of tilted it backwards and forwards, and I think I've got all I'm going to get out of it now. So yeah, calling that one done. I quite liked this one. It was kind of an apple scent. I think this is what's making me sneezed. Whatever at the moment. It's not like a straight up apple. There's a bit more complexity to it and a little bit more warmth to it than that. But I don't think it's something that is going to offend people. So like if I'm wearing it to work in an office or whatever, I tend to go for this one because it doesn't seem to upset people. It's not particularly strong, it's not particularly floral, it's not particularly anything that I think is going to get up anyone's nose. Yeah, so I had this for ages, so I'm really glad to have used it. I did quite like it, but I don't think it would be available anymore if I wanted it. And I can't really see me wanting to rebuy it, even though it served its purpose and was good for how I was using it. For O, I've got the NARS sheer something. I've forgotten what it's called. It's Afterglow lip balm, I reckon, in the colour Orgasm. I think my goal is going to be to use this up because as it is, I've sort of hit the roof of the container, which didn't actually take me all that long to do. I was a little bit surprised at how, there we go, at how quickly I got through it. It is quite thick and slippery, and it doesn't look like there's much colour in it until you put it on the lips, and then it looks quite pink. But yeah, I seem to be burning through it pretty quick, so it looks like it's something that I should actually get done this year, which is a little bit disappointing that it's gonna be gone so quick, but at the same time this one has been hanging around for a little while now, so it'd be nice to have it out. For P, I've got the Pie de Pepper foot cream from Lush. This guy started off at 46. Last 6 weeks ago it was about 36, and it's now 30 grams. Really hoping to get this one used up reasonably shortly. Hard to do. Excuse me a second. Yeah, so going to be really happy to have this done. It's right down to the dregs. Hopefully next update that one will be gone, as long as I've probably got about 5, maybe 6 uses in it. So yeah, I just have to remember to use it. For Q, I've got the Gelique hand cream, rose hand cream. This one's currently weighing in at 4 grams, which is what it was last time, but there's really not much left in here. I really had to struggle to get anything out of it. I'm thinking maybe a couple more uses and then I might cut it, depending on how it looks like that, whether it looks like there's much left in there or not. I'm not sure that there will be, but yeah, this one lives in my bag, and I mean you can see how squeezed it is. There can't be much in there, just a matter of remembering to use it. Okay, for R, I had the Fix Plus Magic Radiance, and I had the bottle that I decanted, the 2 bottles that I had left when I back-to-backed the big bottles, and that's now done. I forgot to bring out the container. It was just a cheap spray bottle that I decanted it into, and I forgot to grab it, and I figured that there was no point going and getting an empty container that was a generic container, so that's what it is. Alright, for S, I've got the Studio Fix matte, soft matte foundation stick. This guy I use most days. That's where we are at the moment. This one's taken me a while to get through. I'm a little bit surprised, considering each time I use it, it seems to disappear a little bit. In the last 6 weeks, I've used about 1 millimeter, probably a little bit more. I'm pretty close to going down to 1.8, but at the moment I'm calling it 1.9. Of course, measuring it at its longer side, so you know, not exact science. Down to 34 grams from 36. There's still probably a good at least 6 months in here. Like, maybe not 6 months. Actually, I'll have to have a look and see what it was at the very original, because I've got it down here at 2.4, but I'm thinking that was a fair way into it. But if I'm only using 0.1 centimeters a month and there's 1 point something centimeters left, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's still going. Be interesting to see. I'm not actually entirely sure I'll have it done this year, which is a bit odd. T. Therapy Feet Enriched Balm. Haven't touched, haven't opened. I'm trying to finish off the Pie to Pepper. I have an Avon one I'd really like to get rid of before I start on this, but I think when the Pie to Pepper's gone, this one might come in, and the Avon one might just hang around a bit longer. For you, I've got Ultra Balm, and my goal is to hit the bottom of the tin in this. I mean, I'm getting there, and it is only June. It's the kind of product that if I decide I'm getting close and I really just want to hit the bottom, I'll just sort of focus in the middle rather than as I'm doing at the moment, which is sort of going down the sides as well. Still weighing at 36 grams, which is kind of interesting considering the great big dent I've made in it. Yeah. For V, I've got the Prep and Prime Skin Base Visage. There we go. Primer from MAC. It's currently weighing in at 34 grams, which was kind of interesting because the last time I had it down at 38. I'm thinking it was probably hovering, so it was probably more like sort of 37 and a bit-ish. Now it's coming down to 34. Do use this most days. It feels, I don't know if I'm fooling myself, but I think it feels like it pumps out a little bit less each time, but maybe that's just my imagination. Yeah, I think it's just gonna one day refuse to pump and then I'm gonna be stuck. I could prise it open again and see where we are, I guess. I probably should, just for a matter of interest. Yeah, it feels like, I mean, because it's an airless pump, it moves up and it feels like, oh, there's not much weight. In this half, it feels like it's all sitting sort of here up, so we'll see. For W, Ruby Woo sample, I think I've used it once, maybe twice, since the last update. I don't think there's any point in weighing it. I don't think it weighs anything. Yeah, made a reasonable dent on it. I think my goal is going to be to try and clear out half of it. I don't think I'm going to get much further than that this year. But yeah, I have obviously made some progress on that. It's just slow. For Y, I've got the NYX Matte Bronzer in the colour Light. My goal is to get the second ring uncovered. So it's that bit there now, because you can see it, the ring all around there. As I've said many times before, I gone from going in the middle to swirling on the outside to try and wear it down a bit more evenly so that it doesn't all crack around that ring. I can't see it being a problem to have it all uncovered by the end of the year. I might end up looking very brown a couple of days in late December. But yeah, I mean, you can see just what I've uncovered reasonably recently where it's silver. Yeah, I don't think there should be an issue with reaching that goal unless something drastic happens and I just stop using it or stop wearing makeup or whatever. Alright, for Y, Yuzu and Cocoa Shower Cream. Currently sitting at 206 grams. It was 214 at the last check-in. So about 8 grams, which is pretty good for me. I tend to be favouring this one a bit at the moment. I actually thought, yeah, that I had a goal. I've got the start, but I don't have a goal. I thought maybe it was to get to the bottom of this, because it started there, and I thought my goal might be to be at the bottom of this. It's a bit hard to tell because I've sort of shaken it and lost my definition. It looks like it might be sitting about here. Looks like I might be about halfway on that. Okay. Yeah, we'll see how we go. I'm expecting any time now to feel like switching off of this onto the Lord and Miss Raw, but it hasn't happened yet. Then finally for Z, I've got Warm and Cozy shade stick from MAC. Currently is weighing at 10 grams, and I've been measuring it at 3.2 centimeters. Though the tip did kind of crack this morning, so I've had to sort of squeeze it back on there, and it's kind of elongated it a bit more than it probably was. 3.2 will do as a measurement for now. It was 3.4 at the last check-in, so I have made some progress. I started focusing on this because it's old, and I always find anything that's got like glitter in it seems to dry out quick. It's something to do with it drawing the moisture out of the product or something. So that's why I have been focusing pretty much all of my energy on this thing. I've been rehydrating it with Duraline every so often, trying to keep it usable. I've been using a sticky eye primer to try and get it to adhere. The trouble with that is if you leave it too long and it gets too sticky, that's when it sort of breaks off. Yeah, it's so pretty though. Yeah, and it's sort of like, yeah. I don't know. I'll keep persisting. If for whatever reason it gets too hard in the tube, I guess I'll decant it into a pot and go from there. But at the moment, for now, I'll just keep on keeping them. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for watching this update. Finally got a couple of items done now. So I think that was 2 in this check-in, which is awesome. I think it's only those 2 that I've done so far. I mean, I've got a couple that are so very, very close. Quite a few that will be here for quite a while. Yeah, so we'll keep on keeping on, and I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.